Hello and welcome to the latest Craftmania Sunday Showcase. Today I thought we'd have a little look at one of my very favourite techniques. We're going to look at triple stamping. If you haven't heard of it before, it's a lovely idea. It basically means that we stamp on 3 layers of card at one time and then we break them up with different mats underneath them. So I've already cut my card in advance, so I'm just going to take the white bits out of these just so that they're ready. Now, while you're doing this, you do want them preferably to stay in place. So on the back of mine I've already just popped a little bit of double-sided tape. Not a lot, because you don't want it to stay there forever. You just want it to hold it in place while we do our stamping. So I'm just going to layer these up like you normally would. And I'll take a little bit off that one as well. If you've got a glue runner to hand, these are quite good for that as well. Anything that isn't too permanent, in a little dose just while you do this effect. So now that we've got our 3 layers together, we'll pop it on a piece of white paper, simply because we're going to stamp off the edge and I don't want to get it on my table. And we're going to be using these lovely large snowflakes. This is a large and small snowflake mix. We're going to start off with the large one to begin with. They're only $5.99, so you get quite a lot on this set for your money. And we're going to be using my Mento Dewdrop ink today. Today we're using Paris Dusk, which is a lovely blue shade. If you haven't seen the Dewdrop ink pads before, they're only dinky, but the good bit with them is they're only £1.69. They come in about 24 different colours, so it's a nice way to add to your collection without breaking the bank, basically. So we're going to start off by doing this one just off the edge here. I'm just going to stand up for this, simply because we're going over the 3 layers of card. We may miss a couple of bits, but it doesn't matter too much because it'll get covered up. So for instance, if you've got a bit like this here that's missing, it's just because we're going over 3 layers at a time. But when we bring our mat in a little while, you'll see that the mat will cover that up. So it really doesn't make too much difference. We're now going to do a couple of the smaller ones. I'm not going to make you watch too much of this bit because I'm sure we all know how to stamp by now. I've done it on a lot of videos, so I don't want to bore you too much. So we're just going to add one of these coming up over there. Now the smaller stamps you don't have to stand for. And we'll do a little one as well. I'm taking them off, got to loaded them. So we'll do another one over here as well. So of course you can fill this or spare them out as much as you want to. And now, hopefully, if I can pick this up, you can see that we've got our sort of 3 stamps on there and they've hit a couple of different layers. So now we can just break this up and show you what it would look like with the layers between it. Now I'm going to show you 5 different cards today that I've made. And we'll talk a little bit in a little while about different techniques you can do, different size pieces of card you can use, etc, to achieve different effects. So hopefully you're going to get the idea of this. We'll move the white one out of the way. I'll bring in the blue one. So, where are we about there? So hopefully you can see from that that's how we get our effect. So nice and simple. And then that will give you the same as this. So you've got the same image going over multiple layers, just broken up by your blue cardstock or whichever colour you choose to use. So that's the technique. Now let's look at a few of the cards. So for this one, I've not only used the set of stamps that I showed you earlier, the $5.99 snowflake ones, I've also used this gorgeous snow globe and its little scene and some text. Now this you might not have seen. We did a showcase a couple of weeks ago, didn't we? Talking about the magazines that we do. And this is the latest issue of Creative Stamping. Those stamps and many more actually come on this times free gift. So this magazine's only $5.99, but with it you receive all of these stamps. So the snow globe I used is off this top corner here. The globe is actually separate. So if you wanted to, you could quite easily cover the banner bit at the bottom with the snowflake on with the little tab that comes with them, so you could use the snow globe all year round. You can of course then put any item that you want to inside the snow globe, and on here they give you a snowman you could pop in there, you've got some lovely reindeers that go in there, and then you've got other elements that you can decorate as well. Mason jars are quite popular at the moment as well. A lot of fairies are being popped into those, aren't they, and having some lovely effects done. I've seen a lot of that about. So you've got that on your sheet. You've also got some nice bubbles and some text, some holly, a good proper Christmas set. And when you think it's only $5.99, you can't really go wrong with that. Of course, the magazine, same as last time we show you, is packed full of ideas too, and different ways you can use this set. So again, well worth the money. As always, if you'd like any of the items I show you today, just pop them in the comments and we'll have them handy for you. But we'll move on now to the ribbon. This is our lovely gingham ribbon that I've used for this card. It's only 65p a metre. It comes in many colours, so if blue isn't your thing, don't be alarmed. There is lots in store to pick from. And now we'll move on to looking at the other cards and products I've used on them. So if I take you over to here, the stamps on here will look very familiar because I just show you these on that set with the magazine. Here are our lovely reindeers, and then behind that we have this lovely holly circle. Again, that comes on that sheet as well. That's this one here, and I've just coloured them with alcohol markers, so just a red and a green. And the actual reindeers I've coloured using aqua markers, just the light brown. The ribbon on the bottom, that is this one here, that is 79p a metre. Beautiful ribbon. And then behind that we have one of our brand new embossing folders. Now I don't think many of you have seen these. They're a new larger size. As you can see, they're literally nearly the size of our A5 card. And they're only $4.99. So there's a couple of these. We'll be posting them on Facebook over the next few days for you to be able to see. If you do want to get your hands on this one, it has been going really quickly. So again, just pop in the comments and we'll have it held for you. Over the top of that, because I've done this just on a nice sort of burgundy colour cardstock, I've used some gilding wax and just brushed that over using the tip of my finger. Now our gilding waxes have come back in stock this week, so if you haven't seen the post already, these are all of the shades it's available in. They're only $6.49. It's a lovely value gilding wax, but works really, really well. And we have that in pink, brown, silver, royal blue, green, red, turquoise and gold. Again, if you like any of them held, please just let us know in the comments. If gilding wax is something you haven't used before and you're a little bit nervous about it, keep an eye out this week because we're going to be announcing some cards that are coming up in our lessons where you'll be getting to grips with gilding wax quite nicely. So you might want to pop along to that and have a little try. Okay, moving on to our next card. So with this one, this is showing you a different style of stamping because of both of the last two cards I've shown you has sort of been a more background effect we've gone for. With this one, I've actually used this stamp here, which is $5.99 and available in store. And instead of it being broke up, it is literally the whole stamp stamped over the layers all at once. And then I've just painted it in using the same colour ink that I stamped it with, which is a lovely memento shade once again. Over the background of it, I've used a dictionary stamp and stamped that in London Fog, which is another memento colour. Just literally stamped over the whole thing just to give a more of a vintage effect. The dictionary stamp, if you've not seen that one before, is only $3.99 and again available in store. The ribbon is the brown version of the ribbon we looked at a little moment or two ago. So that one's again 65p a metre. Moving on to our next card. Now this is where I thought we'd have a little look at something different. Instead of cutting the layers out of card on a guillotine or a trimmer, I've actually used a die cut for this time's triple stamping. So this is the die I've used. Of course you could use any nested shape, but this is one of my favourites. I do quite like this one. It's only $13.49 and you get 6 different size dies in this one. And then over the grey ones, then 3 layers, I've used a paw print stamp to tie in with our dog stamp. Now the paw print stamp is only $3.99, so a little under £4 and great for that. I've also used it on our border as well, just to tie the theme in. But on the border I've stamped it in London Fog again, which is again a memento colour. The stamps themselves, these two here, that's our little boy and dog. Now again, I don't think you will have seen these on Facebook because they've only just arrived in store. It's only $2.99, so it's a cheap little character stamp. There is a couple in this collection and I'll post the link in the comments so you can see them. But all I've done to colour them is just alcohol markers. Very similar to what we did on our Christmas characters Sunday showcase a few weeks ago. If you haven't had a look at that one, do look back in the archives so you can see how to use alcohol markers if you've not done them before. Now moving on to our last one, I thought I'd show you a different effect again. Now this is an idea I've completely stolen off of one I see online and really, really liked. Mine isn't quite so good. I did miss a couple of bits with my stamping and doubled them up, so it's not a brilliant example, but it does show you that you can use your same triple stamping on different sizes, shapes and dimensions of card and still get a lovely effect. All I've done is just distress ink the background with a couple of different colours and then stamped over the base of it with some trees. Now the trees of this set here, if you haven't seen them before, one of the nifty bits about this is you sort of get the positive and the negative of the tree, so you can stamp them in two different colours and layer them up, which looks quite nice. And you also get that lovely verse as well. And again, this set is only $5.99. For my butterfly that I've used on here, I've taken that off of our fairy collection of stamps. Now this is one of our premium quality sets. This one's $7.99. And again, you're getting quite a few on that one for your money. So that's it for today's Sunday Showcase. I hope you like the technique. I hope you'll tune in and see us again next week when we do something completely different. As always, with your Sunday Showcases, the bit I haven't yet told you about is your amazing special offer. So for this week, up until 5 PM on Saturday the 17th of September, you'll receive 25% off of all clear stamps. Now this doesn't include any that are on other offers or that have been reduced, and sadly it doesn't include the stamping magazine, but only $5.99 for the magazine. You're silly not to get it anyway. But it does mean all of the picture stamps and background stamps I've shown you today, you will get 25% off of them if you collect them before 5 PM Saturday 17th of September. Again, in the comments I'll post the link to our stamp album. We literally carry over 100 different packs of stamps that give you millions of designs, to be honest. There's not much on a stamp you couldn't want from what we've got. So do have a little look. And hopefully I'll see you next week for our next Sunday Showcase. Thank you for watching. Look forward to seeing you then.